Good evening, everyone. My name is Christopher King, and this is my community in words and pictures. I live within Logan Township, New Jersey, but just as a quick note, although Logan Township is my place of residence, I technically reside in a very small area known as Beckett. And while locally referred to as a town, officially Beckett is listed in the 2010 New Jersey Census of Population and Housing as an unincorporated community and CDP, or Census Designated Place. And basically what that means is it constitutes a single closely settled center of population that is named. And that's really it. So Beckett lies within Logan Township, so that's why I can say I live in both, but remains unincorporated, and both lie within the confines of Gloucester County. In just some quick trivia about Logan Township, it consists of an area which encompasses 26.93 square miles, and as of the 2010 U.S. Census, it has a population of 6,042 residents. Now, on the official Logan Township website, it says it only encompasses an area of 23 square miles, so I don't know why there's that discrepancy between the actual website for the municipality and the census. Maybe 23 square miles was just more catchy. Also, Logan Township was originally incorporated as West Woolwich Township in 1877, and exactly 1 year later adopted the current name of Logan Township. Logan was it was chosen by the townspeople to honor Union Army General Alexander Blackjack Logan, who was generally cited as being responsible for the U.S. official recognition of Decoration Day, which eventually became Memorial Day. Just a little trivia fact there. But strangely enough, I looked up, and General Alexander Blackjack Logan has no official affiliation with our township. I even looked up information for his son, hoping to find some long lost connection, but his son does not even have any affiliation with the town, so I suppose the townspeople at the time just wanted to honor a war hero. Okay, and just jumping right into the residents of Logan Township, beginning with demographics, and the first demographic is gender. So as you can see, gender is pretty evenly split between male and female, with female at 51% and male at 49%, which is pretty close to the national average. And the second demographic, race, as you can see from the chart here, individuals identifying as white make up the majority of the township, with the largest minority population being individuals who identify as black. My third demographic is age, and per the chart here, individuals aged 40 to 49 are the largest portion of our population. As far as crime is concerned, what I did here is just compare the crime in Logan Township from the years 2002 to 2016 to the national average for those same years. And as you can see per the chart, the only year in which Logan Township's crime rate exceeded the national average was in 2002. And since then, all the way to 2016, we have been below the national average for crime rate, although there is still some crime, including burglaries, some theft, and one murder in the year of 2016. Moving on to the demographic of education, I've created two charts for you all. On the left, you see education level, specifically percentage of population 25 years and older associated with their level of education. And I did the same thing that I did with crime, where I compared Logan Township's percentage against the national average. So the first thing that you see is less than high school, where Logan Township falls significantly below the national average, which is actually a good thing. That just means that compared to the national average, we have a smaller percentage of the population who is 25 years and older who do not have a high school degree. And it makes sense because when you go to the right, you see that high school diploma and its equivalent, as far as Logan Township is concerned, we fall significantly above the national average. Moving over to some college and no degree, as well as associate's degree, Logan Township is slightly below the national average in both categories, but that makes sense because when you move to the right, as far as bachelor's degree is concerned, Logan Township is substantially above the national average. For graduate or professional degrees, we are slightly below the national average. Other education statistics include student-teacher ratio, which is correlated with higher performance on test scores, as well as expenditure per student, which is an indicator of how much the school district spends per the student that it has. So you compare the total education budget for that particular school district against the number of students in that particular school district. And an important note before I begin reading the statistics here is Logan Township School District only encompasses grades pre-K through 8th grade. So in order to go to high school, you have to jump over to another school district. For that reason, I have only included statistics for Logan Township School District for grades pre-K through 8th grade. As far as the student-teacher ratio is concerned, Logan Township is at 14.81, and with student-teacher ratio, just the higher it is, the worse it is. So you can see when compared to New Jersey, the state as a whole, we fall above that, which is not necessarily good for Logan Township in comparison to New Jersey, but in comparison to the national average, which is 15.8, we're doing good. That just means that we have less students per teacher than the national average. Expenditure per student, you can see that Logan Township spends a lot more on its students than the national average, more than twice the national average actually, and then it's only slightly above the average for New Jersey school districts overall. And next up, we have the dreaded two topics that your mother and father tell you never to discuss in public, but I'm going to be brave and do it anyway. It's politics and religion. And before I begin reviewing both graphs, I just want to say that I've told a big lie in the title. These numbers are not actually pulled from Logan Township specifically, but rather from Gloucester County. And when I was looking for data, and I don't know if anyone else had as much trouble as I did looking up data regarding religion and politics, I guess nobody ever wants to report them, even on the internet. But I had to resort to utilizing citydata.com, and I'm honestly not sure where they sourced their numbers from. So while these were the reported numbers, and while I've made very pretty graphs associated with those reported numbers, take these numbers and these distributions with a grain of salt. So on the left, you see what I've made is a graph which exhibits how Logan Township, or rather Gloucester County, voted during the past 5 elections. So that's 2000 through 2016. And as you can see, Gloucester County, for a majority of the elections, voted overwhelmingly Democratic. So Democratic was in the lead, followed by Republican, followed by other, which can include the Green Party, etc. It was not until 2016 where Republican voters actually were in the majority in Gloucester County for the first time in the last 5 elections. I thought that was very interesting. Regarding religion, which you see on the right, I've made a pie chart which exhibits the distribution of religion in the county. So as you can see, it's made up of Catholic, Evangelical Protestant, Mainline Protestants, Black Protestants, other, which I suppose can include Buddhism, Hinduism, etc., and then none. So I guess they either were afraid to report, or they preferred not to report their religion, or they don't identify with any particular religion specifically. And that demographic actually makes up a majority of the population in Gloucester County, which I also thought was very interesting. Okay, so I've been brave. Now I can move on. And the next demographic is poverty. So according to the 2015 American Community Survey, a total of 6.1% of individuals who reside within Logan Township earned an income which fell below the poverty line in the prior 12 months. The national average compared to Logan Township is 15.5%. And on the right, I've made a graph which exhibits the percentage of individuals below the poverty line in the prior 12 months. And once again, I've compared that to the national average just to give you a visual picture of what is written on the left. And as you can see, Logan Township falls significantly below the national average in terms of poverty. Okay. Now we move on to the portion of the presentation where I will review important institutions in Logan Township, and I'm going to begin with formal institutions within Logan Township. On the right, we will come back to this map, but I just wanted to make reference to it. Just pay attention to it. I'll tell you why I put it there in just a little bit. So as far as industry is concerned, we have 28 establishments which associate with manufacturing as their main trade. We have 25 establishments which associate with wholesale trade as their main trade, and 21 which associate with administration and support and or waste management and remediation services. So those were the three top main industries within Logan Township. Major employers include Logan Township Amazon Fulfillment Center, which is a very large warehouse which employs a lot of people, and they're actually hiring at the moment. And we also have Lamitech Incorporated, which is a manufacturing facility. We also have Pureland Industrial Complex, which is the biggest of probably all of the employers in this area. They specialize in building leasing and land development, and they own a 3,000 acre, what they call an industrial park, but basically it just means they own and develop 3,000 acres of land in this general area. And some of the major companies which take advantage and have the land rented to them by Pureland Industrial Complex include H.H. Gregg and Amazon warehouses, which I mentioned earlier, as well as Sears and Home Depot distribution centers. So it's pretty major, and that is actually the reason why I have the map to the right, but you're going to have to hold on for just one more moment while I review institutions. So institutions, formal institutions rather, within Logan Township include the municipal court and the clerk office. So the municipal court is where you go for things such as traffic summons, etc. The clerk office is where you go to register for voting, etc. And then we also have the fire and police departments. So now back to the map. On the right, you'll see a map of the general Logan Township area. And what I wanted to do is just exhibit just how large Pureland Industrial Complex is, and as a result, how important it is to this area as far as creating jobs and developing land, etc. So you see the map of Logan Township as a whole, and then I've tried my best to line up the map which shows the 3,000 acre area of Pureland Industrial Complex and overlay it as accurately as possible, just to give you an idea of just how much land they own in this general vicinity. And that is, it's awful, I know, but it exhibits my point, which is just how big Pureland Industrial Complex is, and as a result, how important it is as far as industry is concerned and job creation is concerned in this area. Okay, and I know I'm running over the time just a little bit, so I'm going to rush through this section. And next is informal institutions in the area, which include things like sports and recreation. We have a lot of sports leagues. No matter where you go at nighttime, you're going to see kids dressed up in uniforms running around after a game. We also have a lot of things associated with agricultural services and products, as well as nature, such as Creamy Acres Farm, Duffield Farm, the Mullica Hill Amish Market, Pines Barren Nature and Wildlife Trail, so on and so forth. And then we have also a lot of neighborhood groups and community events. There's always something that's going on if you look hard enough and look at enough calendars. Things such as the Gloucester County Nutrition Program, which happens to be for individuals 60 plus. And what that is once a day, they provide a quote-unquote nutritious meal to people who are 60 and older for a donation price of $1.25. So I thought that was a great program. Also, we have the Logan Weatherby Moms Club, where you can go and meet other moms in the area. We have things like art strolls and jazz festivals and concert series, and we have much, much more, but you get the picture. We have a lot of neighborhood groups and community events. And as far as the map of our area is concerned, you see that same annoying map that I put earlier in the presentation. And then what I did is overlay something that kind of zooms in, and you can see highlighted the entire county of Logan Township. It's the yellow part. And then as a point of reference, I put something that everybody in this area will know, which is the Commodore Barry Bridge. And the bridge is right here. And on the map, it is where? Right